Hey all, Heretic here. Today in the Battlegrounds, we're talking about Season 9 coming to you December 3rd. We have so many changes from mechanics, heroes, minions, you name it, it's getting redone. This is a whole basically rip down, rebuild, redesign. There are a lot of changes here. Now, some of these changes are going to be complicated, will require some time to go over. Some of these changes will be simple and good, and some of these changes will be, well, let's be honest, controversial. But I feel like for the long-term health of the game, these all seem like good changes. But that's just my opinion. Let's jump in and show you what it is. Let's start with the basics. First, I love the key art for this. It's just fantastic. This is a cool looking setup. I'm digging it, and I'm hoping there's going to be more cards themed around this, but that aside, Season 9 is going to start with first your MMR being reset to 0. Whatever it was before, it's going to go back to 0. And then you're going to get bonus when you win a game. You'll get additional points towards getting you back to certain levels. So if your previous rank was like 7K, now you'll probably get a bonus up to like 5,500. I forget what the actual numbers are. I don't think they've ever actually put it somewhere where you can see it. But you kind of get the feel that you get like 80% of the way to where you were, and then it kind of slows down to nothing, and then you're back to the usual games. Also, we're going to have trinkets gone. No more trinkets. You don't have to worry about buying them, deciding which ones you're going to get, keeping weird minions because you want to be eligible for a trinket that might be overperforming. And we're going to have hero re-rolls coming up. We're going to get to that, but let's jump into the heroes first. We have 3 new heroes that are going to be entering the Battlegrounds during this Season 9 beginning. And we only got the one to announce today, but it's interesting. We're going to be opening with Farseer no Bundu. Now, their hero power is the Galaxy's Lens, and it is for 3 gold. Get a copy of the last tavern spell you cast. Each turn, your next hero power costs 1 less. Now, I like this a lot. It has a lot of fun potential. I mean, every turn, your hero power is going to be 1 cheaper, so you're going to go from 3 down to 0. Obviously, once it's 0, that's fantastic. Whatever spell you've managed to cast, now you're going to get an extra copy of it, whatever that last one was. And the uses for this hero power are pretty obvious in so much that, hey, I get to buy a spell, then hit my hero power, get an extra copy of it after I've cast it, and I'm getting double the value. Obviously, yeah, if you got to pay 3 gold for it, it's not as good, but depending what that spell is, if that spell, say, costs 5 or 6 gold, that's a steal. And if it's just an effect that's really good no matter what, it obviously is going to be worth it, especially if it could be free to get it. So there's some serious value here. Now, when to use it, that really depends on what situation you're in, what the game's looking like, what the meta overall develops to be. But I really like this, you know, in the earlier game, especially when you're just trying to get couple extra minions on the board. You get a spell that generates a minion for you, you hit your hero power, you get it to cast again. I mean, obviously this is going to give you a little bit more tempo and economy when you go to sell that minion. So I really like the idea of this. The only question is going to be in the late game when you use it, but that's basically going to be every time you cast an important spell, you then hit this to get it to go off again if its use is applicably good. I really look forward to this hero. There's some real potential with this. I don't feel like it's too slow, because you can use it when it costs 3 gold, or you can wait till you get those spells cheaper. Either way, I think this is going to be an interesting hero. We have a positively monstrous pile of minions coming, going, changing. It's insane. 90 minions in tavern spells will be removed from their pools and replaced by nearly 90 new and returning minions, and 11 all new spells across Battlegrounds and duos. And here is just a taste of some of those changes. Let's start with Dr. Boom's monster, because this is kind of nuts. We've all been there where we're looking for a polarizing beatboxer. We find one really late, and what happens? Well, the beatboxer's too late. You don't have time to play magnetics on it and make space on the board for it. But now with this thing, you've got this tier 6 2/2 mech that has magnetic, has +2/+2 for each time you've magnetized this game, wherever this is. That means if you found this on your hypothetical turn 18, wow, if you've gone this long not finding one, you're unlucky. But if you've also attached a ton of magnetics, it's still going to be big. As opposed to if you'd found that beatboxer, it would be a baby beatboxer and not terribly good. So it certainly has some potential. Mind you, you still don't really want to play this on turn 18, probably, because +2/+2 for each time is good, but unless you've played a ton of them, it's still not going to be that good for turn 18. Selfless Heroes back. Tier 2, 2/1 neutral in every single lobby. Death Rattle, give a random friendly minion Divine Shield is an old favorite of mine. I loved Selfless Hero back in the day. Was sad when it was gone. We've got a tier 6 3-gold new spell called Fandril's Fortune, and this is discover a choose one minion. It has both effects combined. Now, I know you're like, but there's not many choose one minions. That's where I tell you, no, there wasn't many choose one minions. There now are many, and this is kind of a cool spell. You'll have to see them all to decide whether or not you like it, but it has some real potential. In spells, heroes, this all is going to roll out over the next week. We're going to get into the schedule a little bit later, but for now, let's move on to the next. Changes. I know some of these have been controversial when talked about in chat and, and just in general. People don't like damage cap discussion because there's always people who feel like there shouldn't be there. Then there's people who feel like, well, there has to be there. And, you argue back and forth. But I'm going to read this verbatim because I want to make sure you get it exactly like it is. This is starting with Season 9. The damage cap will be adjusted in solo battlegrounds. This does not apply to duos. The damage cap will start at 5 damage and then go up to 10 on turn 4. So 1 to 3, you can only take 5 damage. But on turn 4, you can start taking 10, and then it goes to 15 damage being the cap on turn 8 and later. The cap will still be removed once you're in the top 4. The change will allow games to progress more evenly without big bursts of damage in the early games. You know when you hit the person who's insanely high rolled and they somehow hit you for 15 damage on turn 6 and it just doesn't feel good. We're going to have less of those instances where we take lots of damage early. And I already know some people are starting to scream out and go, but people are going to power level and they're going to tier faster. And you're right, they are. And so will you. And we'll all grow and learn and adapt to it. Who likes controversy? Who wants to yell at the monitor? Here we go. Get more hero choices with new Battlegrounds tokens. All right, once again, I'm going to read this exactly as it is because, well, I don't want to be yelled at for saying it wrong. One of the most common requests we hear in Battlegrounds is for more control over play direction. You have different favorite playstyles, preferred minion types, and even hero skins. You want to see more of, not to mention some heroes that you're just not at all interested in playing. Introducing hero rerolls. At the start of a game, during the hero selection screen, you can now reroll one or more of your heroes to get more options on how you play. Each slot can be rerolled once per game for 1 battleground token per reroll. Now, before you start rolling your eyes and you want to know more about those tokens, let's just talk about the mechanic. That means you have 1 to 4 rerolls at the start of your game you can use on each hero once. So if you're, say, have the pass and you get 4 heroes and you don't like any of them, you can use one of your tokens to re-roll one of those heroes. You will now, when offered no heroes you want to play, at least have the potential, other than just conceding the game, to now get another hero. Let's talk more about the tokens now. Battleground tokens can be earned through the reward track, both for free and with the season pass, as rewards from events or in the in-game shop. Once the season goes live, there will also be a free intro gift of 2 Battleground tokens that will be automatically added to all player accounts, an additional 4 free Battleground tokens that can be claimed from the shop. Battleground tokens can also be included in viewership drop campaigns, including for the upcoming Season 9 preview event. More details on that below. So basically, you play the game, you watch events on Twitch, and they're going to give you some more just by playing the game. So it's not bad. It's the usual stuff. Now, I know there is the caveat that it does list the shop on there, and we're going to go into that discussion a lot more towards the end. I want to cover all the main stuff first before we unpack all that. Now let's talk about the season pass. There are some changes from the previous seasons, and they're not too big, with one exceptionally slightly bigger change you might already see on my screen while I'm talking. Now, first we have the free rewards, which are always there, the season pass, which is always there, and then the season pass plus. Now, you'll notice that the season pass plus only has one thing in the screen I'm showing you, but if you go down through all the rewards, it's just this: it's adding 1 reroll per game. So that means you get to reroll 1 hero per game if you get the Season Pass Plus, in addition to all the ones you earn on the track. So on the free track, you will get 8 of them as you unlock the whole thing, in addition to any other ways you might get that. But you get the 8 there. Then in the Season Pass, you're going to get 33 you can earn. That is adding the free reward and the Season Pass together, because obviously if you pay for the pass, you're getting the free stuff also. And if you get the Season Plus, you're going to have those 33 plus 1 reroll per game. Now that's a lot to think about. What else are we getting beyond the stuff that I know people are itching to have me yell about, or they want to yell at me about? We'll get there. Wait to the end for the big. We'll have that discussion. But we're getting a ton of skins that are all based around cyberpunk kind of stuff. Basically, it's StarCraft, though. It's basically going to be all StarCraft in the Battlegrounds with heroes that are skinned like StarCraft-esque heroes. There is 1 bartender. It's Zeratul. So StarCraft Zeratul has an epic bartender. Now, it doesn't look like it's themed in any way beyond just that. I don't know. I don't see the pictures yet. Once we get the images and the animation, we'll talk about the quality of them, as I like to do. But there's a lot of interesting sounding skins like Punk Phelan, StarCraft Probe, Rare Emote. Like, I don't care because it's an emote, but if you like emotes, there's things like that. There's a lot of different stuff, and it's all kind of themed around the whole StarCraft crossover event, which kind of makes sense, right? It would be surprised otherwise. Like the StarCraft N'Zoth Epic Hero skin, I want to see that just because I like StarCraft. I like N'Zoth. Let's put this shit together, see what we get. There's a lot of stuff, and I understand the Season Pass is going to be controversial, especially the plus one, but let's talk about the cost. The normal pass is going to be exactly the same. That's $14.99 or 1,500 runestones, whatever, it is what it is. The Season Pass Plus, the one that gets you 1 reroll for every game you play, is going to be $19.99 or 2,000 runestones. Once again, we're going to talk about the cost and if this is good or bad for the game. And I already know, wait, we'll get there. Cover the next thing. The Season 9 preview event with drops, and these drops will include giving you Battleground tokens. Looks like 2 an hour, so pretty good. Not bad at all. I don't think that's going to be too bad. Now, the time frame on this is going to be APAC regions, 2 a.m. to 8 a.m. PST. Then the Americas, Europe, we're going to be 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. PST. So watch your favorite content creators, go over there, support them, and get some free rerolls for yourself. And hey, I stream. Just remember, I'm on Twitch with the exact same name. All the links are in the comments down below. Go take a look, and you can actually come just hang out with me. We will talk about the future of Battlegrounds and what this means and how things are looking while we're trying out the new stuff. And you're winning some free stuff over there in the form of tokens. Not bad. The Season 9 reveal and launch schedule. Here we go. There's a lot. November 19th, Season 9 announcement, neutral spells and mech reveals. November 20th, Naga and Dragon reveals. November 21st, Quillbore and Beast reveals. November 22nd, Pirate and Duos only reveals. November 25th, there's a break there, Murlocs and Demon reveals. And then November 26th, Elemental and Undead reveals. And then the preview event, once again, on December 2nd. The patch itself is going to go live on December 3rd with Beast, Dragon, Quillbore, Pirates, Naga, and Mechs only being available at launch. Then on December 5th, they will add Murlocs and Demons to the pool. Then finally, on December 9th, they will add both Undead and Elementals. All the tribes will be in, and we'll be able to get a feel how everything looks. Once again, I will be posting videos for all of these updates, everything that comes out right here on this channel, and then I'll be on Twitch with everything else, as always, talking about it ad nauseum, because I never stop talking. Now, there are some frequently asked questions that they have loaded here, and I'm going to say, yes, I already know. You're going, well, how are they frequently asked if they just announced this? Because they already have a good idea what you're going to ask. I do, we already know what we're screaming, right? But let's just tackle a couple of these because I feel like others have already been tackled. Of course, the link to this will be in the comments below, so you can take a look down and see what you actually, if you don't agree with what I've skipped over, because maybe it's relevant, but I don't think it is because it's already been covered. But how exactly do hero rerolls work? And this is answer. When you're on the hero selection screen, there will be a reroll button underneath each particular hero. The button under each hero will indicate that it takes 1 Battlegrounds token to reroll, except if you have the Season Pass Plus. Your first reroll won't cost a Battlegrounds token. Your total Battlegrounds token will be displayed in the corner of the screen as you decide. So there'll be a little indicator so you know how many you have. Each hero slot is independent and can be rerolled up to once, meaning that you can't reroll the same slot multiple times, and you'll either have 0 to 2 or 0 to 4 rerolls per game, depending on whether you have the 2 hero option from the Season Pass or not. If you bought that perk, you've got 4, then you get more chances because there's more heroes there. You can't reroll into a hero you've already been offered or a hero that isn't allowed in your game, and your rerolls aren't affected by other players' reroll. So you don't have to try to game the timing of your rerolls. Once you see a hero you want to play, just stop rerolling and select it like normal. We limited it to 1 reroll per hero slot because we wanted to avoid games being too samey as everyone rolled the same most popular hero. Rerolls are done individually instead of rerolling all your heroes at once, so that you can stop once you found a hero that you like, and so that each reroll isn't more valuable to people with 4 hero options than people with 2 hero options. Now, that is completely valid, that if you're a free-to-play player and you don't want to buy tokens, and I have 4 heroes, and if it was a token to reroll all 4 of mine, but you only got to reroll 2, that would kind of be more unfair for you. I get that. And I know there's the whole pay-to-win discussion, which, yeah, I understand. We're going to talk about that a little bit in a minute. But fundamentally, this sounds pretty good. Now, it sounds like it's checking to see which heroes are rerolled constantly. I'm assuming otherwise, has you hit reroll and I hit reroll, what if we're both offered the same hero? That shouldn't happen. Like, you don't want a lobby where somehow, theoretically, everyone's playing hero Y. Everyone's Flurgle. Woohoo! You're like, what? Why are there other tribes in this game? We all just want the Murlocs. It's gonna be weird, right? So I'm assuming that once you hit the button and it adds another hero in it, it will just kind of lock the rest of them out of the pool, and then you can just keep, going through the rest of your heroes so you find the one you actually like. Now, I think this is an interesting system. Now, I know a lot of people are going to be screaming about pay to win. It's going to be the last thing we cover. Sorry. How will rerolls work in duos? Rerolls will work the same in duos as in regular Battlegrounds, with one major special case just for duos. 2 players like Cho and Gall. We won't force anybody in the Battlegrounds token when they don't want to. So one player rerolling the pair hero won't affect the other's hero options. Similarly, if you reroll a hero, you won't roll into one of the paired heroes, which would be useless to you because your partner wouldn't have the other half. You'll also never reroll into banned hero pairings. So it sounds like they've kind of done the basics and covered all the shit they should, so it doesn't completely fall apart on launch. I'm sure we're still going to discover some kind of issue because it's always something. It's hard to make them perfect, but they've covered the basics really well, it sounds like. All right, let's talk it. Let's go for it. Let's freestyle. We're going to completely ignore everything else they have and talk about pay to win, because I know you're all screaming pay to win. And I'm not going to say you're wrong. This is 100% a way of pay to win, because now I can roll my heroes that I don't like or aren't as good to get better ones. Theoretically, once again, there's 100 heroes. Well, 94, 96, whatever the hell it is. Now we added more. That's right. There's more in the pool. We don't know how many. I can't say for sure. But do you count duos? You don't count duos? What's banned from this particular lobby? But the point is, it is pay to win in the extent that you now have a chance, if you have all bad heroes, to get better heroes. That is true. And that is painful. I agree. I don't love that. But let's face it, they have struggled to find a way to monetize this game. And I know you're going to say, but Blizzard is making a fortune. And I agree, they are. But here's the deal. If they don't make money on this mode, they're going to stop supporting this mode and they're going to leave. They're going to go support other modes. They're going to put out a mobile game we all think sucks. I know this is a mobile game, so don't quote me on that exactly, but I'm not saying, you know what I'm saying. So what we're looking at is they have to find a way to make money on this mode that is not too egregious, right? Something that isn't literally, hey, I want to pay $30 a month to have a pool of 25 heroes to pick from, and I can curate it whenever I want because I'm paying $30 a month. And hey, look, I happen to put the most powerful heroes in the game, the current meta every time. They patched, I'm going to change my pool. Look, I win. They're not doing that. They could do that and people would leave in droves. I feel like this is a really good small step where, yeah, there is some pay to win. Unfortunately, they have to find a way to make money. Let's face it, cosmetics are a fail. I don't see them. I don't really care. The only ones I really like are bartenders. And when I'm streaming, I don't hear the bartender because I'm too busy interacting with my audience, which is very active. It's hard for me to talk to 50 of you at once and pay attention to whatever drivel the bartender's spouting out. When I'm playing solo, another conversation maybe. But the way I play normally, I don't get to hear it. I don't care about this, what things look like, because oftentimes I find skins confusing. Like when you see Dancing Daryl, who's also the Lich King, and you're like, oh, okay, that's this. But if you look at it real quick, you might go, shit, he's got the Lich King. And you think, then you're playing a little different. It's just one of those things where there's no real happy medium in this kind of stuff. Unfortunately, they put it out of beta into live with no real way to make money off it. And because of that, it's too late to try charging us any other way. I think this is a happy medium. How would you change it? And if you think this is horrible, if you think this is the worst idea ever and you're quitting, comment, tell me why. Tell me what you would do different. How would you, in detail, because it's not useful if you don't give me the details, actually make money for this mode so they'll support the game and make sure it's actually doable, not say like, well, I'd put it on a separate mode and I'd do these, I'd put it in a completely other app and I'd do this and I just need to redo all this stuff. It would cost like, $500 million. They're not going to do that. We need to find a way to make the mode we have viable, because I want to play Battlegrounds for another few years. We're at 5 years. I want another 5 years, but I'm not going to get that if they shut it down or they just say, we're not supporting it anymore. It is what it is. This is it. Final patch, go. I don't want that. I love this game. I want to play this game for as long as I possibly can. And I want to play it and have fun with the people who I enjoy playing with. So I need the game to be a little money making for them so that they'll keep the lights on, keep a couple employees on it. I don't know, maybe put someone in the content creator program so I can get consistent early access and not just be sitting there begging someone for it, because it'd be nice to have this stuff well in advance and be part of the discussion that happens with it. But that's my thought. Please leave comments below. Tell me what you think. We've got a bunch more information coming out, a ton of videos. I want to be on Twitch talking about all this stuff. So if you're interested, jump on there, go hang out. We're going to have a good time. Thanks for watching all. I got a whole lot more coming for you very soon. Later.